Okay, so let's get started on building our resume using Naviance. So Naviance, you'll find a folder called Naviance, and you want to click into this folder, and you're looking for Naviance SSO. So actually, let me click in here. Now it's not listed on mine, but you should see one of these that says Naviance and then SSO. Okay, SSO. Don't use any of these because none of these are for West Campus kids. Okay, but you're going to use the one. You should see one that says SSO. All right. Not trying to be confusing. I just don't have the same view that you do on this. So I'm just trying to explain it with words. All right, but I'm going to go here and log in right now. So you're going to click on yours. Yours you won't need to log into. But I need to log in, so I'm going to show you my username and password right now. Okay, here's my password. I'm going to show you on the video, recording it on the video, my password. See? How many teachers show you their username and password? All right, close this. There you go here. All right, so when you open Naviance SSO, right, you should see this view coming up right here. It should look like this for you, okay? And you're going to make a resume from this website. Now, you have access to this as long as Paramount High School, Senior Campus, and West Campus are using Naviance for their college and career system. You'll have access to this. So I'm sure the whole 4 years that you're in high school. And so you just build on it. You just add things to it, right? So I'm going to click here, and I'm going to go to resume. So I go to About Me right up here, right over here. Oops, right here, About Me, and then I'm going to get to resume. All right. So you could already see that I've got some items in here, and I'm going to show you how to make these, okay? And they all come from this plus right up here. Leave that. Okay, so what you're going to do is add these sections to your resume. Some of these sections you have to have. Some of these sections you only have if you actually have something to put there. Okay, so anyway, so we're going to go in and add the sections that we want to have on our first version of our resume, okay, our first resume. So we're for the training video, I'm not going to cover all these because it takes time, but I'm going to show you some in detail, and then as you click on these, we'll definitely open them up. You can see what you need to put in. Okay. I'm going to start with the objective. Just start on the top, work my way down. Let's say right now, my objective, the objective you have is let's see, I want to get my first job. Okay, so that is an objective. If you actually have a specific interest of what job you want, let's say you're really into comics and you want to go work at a comic book store. I want to get a job at a comic book store. Okay, you could put something like that as an objective. It's okay to have multiple objectives, and I'll show you how to pick the one. You just want one for your resume. So I'll show you how to pick just one objective. But you can build on, by the time you're a senior in high school, you might have 4 objectives, okay? All right, so that's the objective, and that's going to be that's like the top, the main, the opening part of your resume. Also, in this order is kind of how it will display it on the resume too. So now let's go to summary. So here you want to take something that you've already got somewhere else in your resume and highlight that. It could be a skill, it could be your work experience, like for getting a comic books. Oh, I just realized on this comic book one, what I didn't do that grammatically correct. So I'm going to go to edit, and I'm going to make that W uppercase because it's a sentence. Save that. I just noticed that. Anyways, going back to summary. If I'm wanting to get a job at a comic book store, I might say for my summary, I really love comics, right? You could make that your summary, or you can have you can click new summary. You can put a summary that says, I have really good communication skills. All right, that is something I want you to put if you can't think of anything else. You could also say, I have a positive attitude. Okay, you could put something like that. Oh, and of course I got to spell it right. And okay, so here's a little thing. See, it's misspelled, and that shows those red dots. That means that's universal symbol in any form to enter information or word processing, right? That means misspelled word. Usually you right click over that and it'll try to tell you what it thinks you're trying to spell correctly, right? And so that's just a little lesson on editing. All right, so now I've got multiple summaries, but any of these are good, all right, depending on your focus on your resume. All right, so that takes care of objective and summary. Now we're going to go down to work experience. Probably you don't have any work experience. I mean, like real work experience where you've been paid. You're barely a freshman, right? How would you have any work experience? So it's okay if you don't have any work experience. You don't include this. But if you do have some kind of experience that you would like to have in your resume to show people that you're responsible and have done something to earn money, and you could be responsible and not have done anything to earn money. And typically, you know, for your first job that you'd be getting at your age right now, it's not expected that you would have any work experience. So I'm going to actually leave this out. Okay, click that and leave work. You know, I should go over it once because it's possible that you do have something. So let's say you've done babysitting. You get paid by your aunt to babysit your cousins on a regular basis, and she gives you money on a regular basis. So you can say babysitting, okay? Because that does show responsibility. Babysitting or babysitter. Okay, babysitter. And I'm going to actually make a proper noun out of that, babysitter. Organization, self, okay, that means you're self-employed. Location, you could just put my house, all right? And then you could indicate a date range. And a lot of the stuff in here is going to have the same kind of date range, okay? So you got to think about, when did you start doing it? Let's say maybe when you were in 7th grade. Okay, so that would be what? That would be, just take where you're at right now, 8th grade, 7th grade. So maybe 2019, you know, maybe they needed your help starting in the beginning of the school year in August. And now, if it's something you still do, you would click present. If it's something that you don't do anymore, then figure out when you last did that and put an end date to it. So maybe you stopped doing that just this last year, okay? Actually, this would be 18 if it was 2 years, right? So you had 2 years, let's say you averaged maybe 2 hours a week, whatever it was. And then you could put 7 and 8 for the years that you did that. All right, and any little notes you might want to say. This is where you might say, help my aunt watch my cousins, you know, okay? And then when you're done with something, you want to come here and click add. And if you had more work experience, you had continue work experience, you just click this add, and you would add the next work experience section that you have, right? Obviously, as you start getting work, you'll be able to add to this. when you get your first job, you'll put that in, right? Okay, for the next job that you get, because you're always going to get the next job, right? Until you're finally set in your career, work for the company, and then you're still going to be ready to go with your resume just in case. Just in case, you never know. All right, let's go back to the plus, and let's look at education. So education, right down here, the bottom right, we have our address of our West Campus School. And where am I at with this video? Getting pretty. I gotta wrap this video. It's gonna take too long here. So we're gonna put our address in. All right. So we're gonna put Paramount High School, and you could pause while you need to type. Right? You can pause this video. West Campus location. So here's where you want to get the address. Right? So 14708. 14708 Paramount Boulevard, Paramount, California, and the zip code 90723. 90723. All right. Grade 9. Start date, month. You started in June of 2000. And you'll stop. No, what am I saying? June. Oh my God. You started in August of 2000 and you end in June of 2021. All right. Don't click present because, you know, this year is almost over. 3 more months, this year is over. So just go ahead and put June. Chances are you're not getting a job this year with this, you know, resume or even a job application. You're too young to work. You have to have work permit to be able to fill out a job application. So let's click add. So you'll start working possibly next year if that's what you choose to do. All right, let's take another look here. We are tight on time. So that was education. Then there's volunteer service. So you would put any volunteer service that you've done, any service hours. You want to go through and answer these questions. All right. And I'm just going to fly through these now. Here's another important one. Extracurricular activities. So if you are singing in a church choir, or if you are, you know, if you do any kind of work in a club, if you're a member of a club, you would put that information here. And again, what is it that you do with your activity? What is, you know, with your, that you want to have in your resume, and you want to put the start and the end, or if it's something you're still doing, the average hours per week, just guesstimate, and then click on the years that it applies. All right. And then click add. So you're doing that for activities. And again, just things that you've done. Okay, here's a good one. Awards. What awards have you earned? What badges do you have in Schoology? Did you get any awards when you promoted in 8th grade? Have you earned a Pirate Pride Award? You would want to put that information here. Okay, the date it was awarded to, or awarded to you, and then what it was, what the award was, and then what grade level, and any comments you want to make. So you want to add those. That's definitely important. Awards, skills. For sure, you have good communication skills. We said that earlier, right? I have good communication skills. So it's okay to have it here now as a skill. And you can say, I learned that my freshman year. Mr. Jaffe's class, and it was in March of 2021. I learned about good communication skills, right? And I could say I'm a beginner at it. Beginner at it. And now click add. So that would be an example of the skill. Or let's say you know how to use Photoshop. So let me add another skill, all right? Or Lightroom, or one of these programs. You could put Photoshop. And you could say that you, let's see, we'll probably be back in the classroom by April for sure, and Photoshop by then. So you could say that, oh no, we'll say June. We'll say in June of 2021, ninth grade, beginner skill level on Photoshop. Okay, Adobe Photoshop. Let's put Adobe. And let's click add. So these are the types of things you put. Okay, these are the types of things you put, your skills. And they could be hard skills and soft skills. All right. So what does that get us to? Music. Okay, any music or artistic achievement, any awards, any, if it's a start and end. So it could also be if you're in a band or play in the marching band or play in a jazz band, if you're in Jazz Angels or anything like that. Okay. And we've got also athletic achievement. So if you play high school sports, if you're on the high school baseball team or the high school softball team or the girls volleyball team or the boys football team, right? You would put that there, include that. All right. And let's see. And then we get to references. Now I already have references here. Do a screenshot or pause the video and look at this information. Click on it, right? So it's going to go click on references. And then you're going to get the information that you need to put here. You're going to, there it is right there. So pause the video or do, jump between the two tabs on the video and on filling this out and copy this information that you see. Okay, my phone number, my email address, the address of the school. All right, and add me as a reference. I will be a reference for you. All right, so your job is to go through all these things, including leadership, right? I think we covered everything. Leadership is right here too, right here, leadership. If you're an ROTC or if you're involved with student government, okay, those are things you want to put in. All right, get all this information in. The next training video that I've got for you guys to watch shows you this, print and export. But right now it's covering the add update section. Okay, good luck. This video is over. Over.